What if I told you it's possible to go from zero to adventure with less than $10,000? Yes, you can buy an adventure bike, all the mods you need for that adventure bike, all the riding gear you need, all the luggage you need, and all the camping gear you need to go from your first overnight all the way to a week-long BDR, and you can do it all for less than $10,000. Let me show you how. I've been putting off making this video because I haven't really come up with a good way to present the information, and I just decided, instead of trying to do something fancy, I just put it all in a spreadsheet, which I'll link for you in the description with links to every single thing I talk about here. So if you want to check it out for yourself, instead of trying to follow along and like write stuff down, you can just go right to the spreadsheet. I was curious, can you get into an adventure bike and everything you need to go adventure riding up to and including a BDR for less than $10,000? So I went online, started shopping, and figured out that yes, it is in fact quite possible. And there are several bikes that you can use to reach this goal of getting out there and having everything you need for less than $10,000. One of which is right behind me, the CF Moto Ibex 450. Obviously this is MSRP. Taxes and stuff are going to apply depending on where you live, but I can't account for that because I don't know where you live. So speaking strictly MSRP, it's very possible. Let's start with the Himalayan 450. I've got a few options here. We'll come back to the Ibex. So Himalayan 450 base model is $6,000 MSRP. Add to that a giant loop great basin rackless saddlebag setup, $490. Add the Royal Enfield handguards, engine guards, and new tires, Tusk Waypoint tires. That's $120, $200, and $126 each. Okay, riding gear wise, here's what I recommend. The MSR Explorer jacket and pants from Rocky Mountain ATV, and I recommend that because it's really mid-grade $800 jacket and pants level if you bought it from Climb or Moscow gear for half that price. It's really good stuff. It's the best value in the industry, and I've used it a ton. I like the Alpine Stars Corazal boots, the MSR ADV wind block gloves. Helmet-wise, I went with kind of an interesting choice. I tried to find something that was decently priced, but also pretty safe. And so I have this Sedici Duale MIPS, and it is a MIPS helmet with a ton of features, pin lock, and a bunch of other stuff that I really like for a reasonable price. So that helmet is $300. You can get it from RevZilla. Obviously, you need a Dork in the Road neck gaiter to keep your neck safe. It's probably the most important piece of gear in the world. That's 20 bucks. And you can even add to this kit an MSR Enduro hydration pack for $65. So it's not just like the bare bones basics. I'm trying to make you like comfortable out there with all the gear that I typically wear on an adventure like this. That gear setup, and I have this all linked separately, but that's the same gear setup you'll see in each of the options I'm about to lay out for you. As far as camping gear, you can pick up a Big Agnes Echo Park 35 for $180. That is one of the most comfortable camping sleeping bags I've ever used, and I highly recommend it. Kelty Far Out 2 tent, which you've seen in a couple of my videos. You can get the Divide insulated sleeping pad, a Jetboil flash so you can cook, a Giant Loop Cactus canteen to carry water, and an Emo Pillow so that you have a pillow. Literally everything you need to go camping is right here in this setup. All of that added up, riding gear, bike, mods, luggage, camping gear, equals $9,261. You can look at it in the spreadsheet if you don't believe me, check my math. So that's one option. So you can get into a Himalayan 450 and all the gear you need for less than $10,000 for $9,300. Another option there is the Ibex 450 behind me. So swap out the Himalayan and all the mods for an Ibex 450, which is $6,500 MSRP. You get the CF Moto engine guards, the CF Moto skid plate, the Tusk D-Flex Pro hand guards, and the Tusk Waypoint tires. That's what I would recommend at minimum for protection, and you need a tire upgrade because I don't like the stock tires on any of these bikes. The riding and camping gear is all the same, and also the luggage is the same. I'm recommending the Giant Loop Great Basin for each setup because it's the most versatile and has the most room. You don't need racks to use it. It works on almost any adventure bike, and it has almost 70 liters of storage. You only need one piece of gear, and you can move it from bike to bike to bike. So that's what I'm recommending. There are other options that are cheaper. That's up to you, but I would point you towards buy it once, use it forever, Giant Loop Great Basin. So everything else is the same camping gear, same riding gear. Adding up the CF Moto Ibex, the CF Moto Ibex mods, and all of the other stuff, $9,941. So we're just squeaking under $10,000, but it is possible to get into an Ibex 450, get all the gear you need to go out and have your first adventure and go on your first BDR if you so choose with that setup for under $10,000. Okay, another option is the Honda CRF300L Rally, which is, you can kind of see it. She's in pieces behind me. Same thing, Giant Loop Great Basin. Add the Tusk D-Flex Pro handguards, the Tusk D-Sport tires, and the Tusk skid plate from Rocky Mountain. That stuff is all good and reasonably priced. Same riding gear, same camping gear, $9,326. You're into a bike that can take you on a ton of adventures with all this gear and setup you need. So if you're wondering, the cost of just the riding gear and the camping gear with the luggage, I also pulled that out separately, it's $28.15. So you can pick any bike you want, still use this setup, just find the mods that you want to use. I always recommend, at minimum, a skid plate, some hand guards, and you're probably gonna want a tire upgrade. And on a bigger bike, maybe you want crash bars, that's up to you, but at least on a dual sport, that's what I would go with. So you can just add this setup or modify it however you so choose, but it's under $3,000 for all the riding gear, camping gear, and luggage you need to slap on any bike and go camping. I know $3,000 is not nothing. I know $10,000 is not nothing, but it's also not $30,000 for a GS, and then you got to add all this stuff on top of it. So in terms of budget-friendly adventure biking options, it doesn't have to cost $25,000 to get into this. You can do it for less than 10. Now, other bike options that will also work with this setup, if you add the camping gear and the riding gear that I've got on this list, are a new KTM 390 Adventure. I'm iffy on the old one, but when the new 2025 comes out, that'd be a great bike to do this with. The DR650, KLR 650, both of those you can get new and still come in under $10,000 if you use this gear setup. And the bike I keep forgetting to mention, which I apologize, it's never on my radar because I've never ridden one, is the XR650L. Same thing. You can do this whole setup, get a new or a newish XR650L, and get out the door for less than $10,000. There are a few other options that will also work. I recommend them less because they're a little streetier in my opinion, and I'm more focused on the off-road part, and if the street sucks, I'm less concerned about it. But you could do this with an NX500, you could do this with a Versys X300, you could do this with the BMW 310 GS, or just go out and find yourself any used adventure bike that's in good shape for less than $7,000. So V-Strom or something like that, you can slap this whole kit on. That's why I kind of made it modular, the setup. And you know, modify, pick and choose, swap things out if you like. I was mostly interested in, is it even possible? And I was pleasantly surprised to find that not only is it possible to come in under $10,000, but a couple of these options, the Himalayan full setup, $92.61, the 300L Rally full setup, $93.26. So you've even got some wiggle room there to get better gear if you want to. I'm sorry if that was a little scattered and I'm just like rattling off a list. This is mostly an introduction to kind of drive you to the spreadsheet just to see what's possible, but I was curious if it was possible to go from zero to adventure in $10,000. It is, so if price is something that's keeping you from getting involved in motorcycle adventure, it's something you want to do, but you're just like, oh, I can't afford it, it might be less expensive than you think, and the proof is right here on my spreadsheet, which I will link for you in the description. I'm interested in any other suggestions you might have for stuff you might swap out from this list. What's good camping gear? What's a good bike that you can get for less than $7,000? What other riding gear do you recommend that isn't crazy expensive? Please leave it in the comments. Let's learn from each other's knowledge and help each other get out there as cheaply but as well equipped as possible and start having adventures. If you want to support the channel while you're shopping for this gear, please use the affiliate links. Every link on the spreadsheet is an affiliate link where possible. I don't have affiliates to everything, but you click that link, I get a little referral fee for referring you. You don't pay any extra, and you help support future dorky motorcycling content just like this. Those links are always active, and all of my links are always in the description of every video, so you can just bookmark them, and every time you go to Rocky Mountain, just use my link, and I get commission for everything you buy. It costs you nothing extra, and you get to feel good about putting more dorkiness into the world. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.